Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And Warner Brothers is junk. They're junk. And a big part of it is linear TV, including Cartoon Network. They've had their credit score cut to junk bond status. That's a huge blow. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the exit strategy, which is some of these shows that would have been on Cartoon Network are now going to Hulu and Disney+.
You just mentioned yesterday in the one video, that, or the day before, whatever day we did it, it blends together, that you thought they were going to be taking some of those shows and they would just, move them to other networks and license them out or whatever.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the timing, because, we talked about, literally, it was 2 days ago that I could totally see, because they're talking about the, Cartoon Network not being a good place right now. And I could see them just taking a lot of these shows, and if they were going to reboot them or whatever, just kick them over to Netflix or Tubi or Disney, and that's what they're doing. So Gumball's coming back. They're going to do a season 7 of Gumball. New voice actors. They don't sound quite the same.
They never do, but they were kids before, weren't they? So
yeah, they make a point of that in the show. They usually address it, but it's going to Hulu, which I thought was very interesting. So yeah, it's not going to Max. It's not going to Cartoon Network. It's going to Hulu. And I think this is the future of whatever's left of Cartoon Network. They're just gonna kick it over to somebody else, Amazon or whatever, because they're not really interested in it. We've been talking about the decline of Cartoon Network, but they specifically cite Warner Brothers' decline. They're tying it to linear cable, which again includes Cartoon Network and all these other. I mean, only 100,000 people are watching Cartoon Network now. It's
Disney have the same problem. Their linear networks are not doing great. We have the Disney Channel and Disney Channel XD and stuff, a fraction of the viewership it used to have, because you guys set up streaming services and people are just going to the streaming services to find the stuff. They're no longer going to linear TV, and you did it to yourselves with everybody having their own service.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about television Highlander, streaming service Highlander. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Check out news.clownfishtv.com. Sign up for the newsletter, just in case we get lost on YouTube. God forbid we get lost on YouTube. This comes from the Hollywood Reporter, which sadly also has that George Wendt passed away today. So that's awful.
I was very upset about that.
Yeah, he wasn't. I thought he was older than that, but he was only 76. So R.I.P. Norm, but R.I.P. Warner Brothers. This had a couple people send us this. I think Vinny sent this too. Warner Brothers Discovery credit rating cut to junk bond status on linear TV's decline. The ratings firm marked WBD down to BB plus on overall cable TV weakness as the Hollywood studio pivots to the streaming space. That's pretty bad.
Pivoting to the streaming space.
They've been for 5-6 years now. It's how much more can they pivot? They've pretty much gone all in.
That's a pivot. That's a Friends moment there. Anyway.
Oh God. So they've been downgraded to BB plus or junk bond status for 2025 and 2026 by S&P Global. Over linear TV weakness as the Hollywood studio continues to pivot to the streaming space. But they're losing that too. They're losing the streaming wars. The ratings firm continued its outlook for Warner Brothers as stable, but pointed to weak credit metrics overall to explain its bond rating markdown to speculative. We lowered our 2025 and 2026 forecast due to continued challenges in their linear television network segment, which we forecast will offset growth at its studio and streaming segments. Okay. But they're not even that's the thing. They're putting the new Cartoon Network stuff on other people's networks, on other people's streaming services.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do to offset the costs. Linear is still salvageable, the stuff from their Cartoon Network and things, but you're going to have to offload it somewhere else or have them, help fund new things.
Well, it's just, and it's so funny because when we talked about Cartoon Network and there was a big expose on just how bad things were at Cartoon Network, we had people in the comments who are like, Cartoon Network's fine because their marketing person who gets paid to make them look good said it's fine.
Well, they're not going to say it's not.
No, I mean, you're not going to say, hey, yeah, I'm the marketing person for Cartoon Network and we are totally fucked.
Yeah.
Good day.
That'd be how you
that should be an email blast they just send out to everybody. Hey guys, last email blast we're sending out from Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. We are fucked. Good night. Goodbye. Yeah. No, they're not going to do that. And but it's very obvious that they're desperate. I know that they had a bunch of shows greenlit that were, I guess they're bankable IP, but I mean, Cartoon Network as a network is toast, or this would be on it. Mm-hmm. This Gumball was one of their biggest shows.
I actually am kind of happy. I mean, I hope it doesn't suck, but I liked Gumball. So there's that.
So we'll talk more about that, but let's see if there's anything else here. They said, if they do the split, because they're talking about splitting Warner Brothers, they said if they do that, it's actually gonna hurt them more.
Oh, you mean when they're gonna try to split them off again?
Yeah, they said S&P Global is not factored into its ratings downgrade any potential split of the company because one hasn't been formally announced, but the ratings firm added a separation would likely pressure ratings because it would weaken our view on the individual businesses, particularly linear networks, due to ongoing secular pressure in the linear television ecosystem. Basically, if you split it and we're going to have to give a really bad rating, I guess, to the linear company.
Well,
because
if you're giving a bad rating to it right now in general, you split it in two.
Yeah.
I mean,
it'll be half-assed.
I'm just saying it's going to get worse.
Yeah. Said cable used to be a cash driver for studios. The TV channels have lately become a drag on earnings. And this would include, I'm assuming, CNN and everything too, because that's part of Warner Brothers. So they're just like, if they split this, it's like, good luck with all that. But to have Warner Brothers cut to junk bond status, that's pretty bad. So let's talk about Cartoon Network being junk. We've talked about this. They've been slowly shutting Cartoon Network, the network, down over the course of the last couple of years. They're out of their building. They shut the website down, and it doesn't look like they're greenlighting much for the network, but they are doing more Gumball on Hulu.
So are they producing it, or is somebody over at Hulu paying for it?
I think Hulu's paying for it.
Okay, in collaborations with the original series creator.
Yeah.
So interesting. So Warner Brothers let the original creator go make a deal with Hulu to do more?
Or it could just be that they're licensing it out. So that's interesting. They said, Hulu in collaboration with the series creator, and I can never pronounce his name. Is it Ben Bakwale? Bakwale has announced the return of the beloved series with new episodes picking up exactly where season 6 left off. The Cartoon Network show. So it's probably Cartoon Network. Yeah, it's Cartoon Network. So it's probably
interesting. It's still gonna be Cartoon Network branded, but it's in collaboration.
Yeah, Hulu's probably paying the bills.
They're not saying collaboration with Warner Brothers.
No. So I wonder
that.
I don't know the specifics of this, but I wonder because they were looking, I know some creators were looking to get their shows back, because I know that the Megas XLR guys were trying to get their show back, and Warner Brothers back then wanted an astronomical amount of money, but I know they're open to selling things back to creators because Bernie Burns bought Rooster Teeth back. Mm-hmm. So it potentially could be like, or hey, you get to run it, whatever, but we get a cut because it was a Cartoon Network thing, and that's just revenue for us. I don't know. But they did this with Batman too. Normally that probably would have been something on Cartoon Network, the Amazon series, but they threw it on Prime.
Right. So basically either people are getting their stuff back or they're just making deals with whoever else wants it. So it sounds to me like seasons 1 through 6 were Cartoon Network. So they want those. They're going to have to probably lease them for Cartoon Network and Hulu. And Warner Brothers. It's so confusing. But then the new ones are under Hulu and the original creator. That's how it sounds.
That's how it sounds to me too. So I'm guessing it's probably like a licensing deal, something, because it's obviously not being produced for Cartoon Network. It's not
seeming to be produced by Cartoon Network. It's Hulu, unless Hulu's paying Cartoon Network. I don't know.
That could be too. I think it's Cartoon Network. I think it's Cartoon Network Studios, because I know they have Cartoon Network Studios, and I'm wondering if Cartoon Network Studios just won't be an animation arm of Warner Brothers or whatever, and they just throw that branding on, kind of like Hasbro, like with Basic Fun toys and with. Like we just throw the branding on. I have no idea. I don't know.
It's very interesting though that they're talking about it was the creator and Hulu that are doing this.
Yeah. I saw the trailer. It's actually pretty fun, but yeah, the voices are different. Again, I mean, this is the second or third time.
Are they close?
They're okay. I think Gumball's closer than Darwin, I think. Darwin sounds very different to me. But, I don't know. He sounds totally fine. I didn't say he didn't sound fine. I'm just saying I can tell it's a different Darwin. Gumball's pretty similar. But yeah, they don't know that much about it. It's 2026. I said Hulu has picked up exclusive streaming rights, so fans can expect all new episodes to drop there. If you want to rewatch or catch up on earlier ones, they have the full back catalog, either on its own or through Hulu or Disney Plus.
Okay, so Hulu and Disney Plus are getting the back catalog of Gumball.
I think they've had some of the Cartoon Network shows, but yeah, so I think this is what's going to happen. I think there's not going to be a Cartoon Network as we've known it. They're just going to be like, yeah, Cartoon Network stuff is going to live on whoever's platform is going to pay us the most. I mean, they're not putting it on Max or anything either.
Well, Warner, with HBO Max and stuff, and this in general, they said they were dropping a lot of their kids' stuff. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And then these other places like YouTube, or in this case, Hulu, are picking stuff up like crazy, trying to gain that children's audience. Heck, Disney just announced today that they're going to be doing some collaboration with Mickey and Friends in Formula One racing. And if you look at the article, the reason being is because the massive amount of kids worldwide who are now starting to watch Formula One racing from ages 8 to 12 up to 25. And they're making a deal to try to make a collaboration to try to bring more kids to their network. So they're even going after Formula One racing because of the child audience.
It's weird. I did not think there was a
Nor did I. I learned that today. Learn something new every day, right?
I mean, I liked Pole Position when I was a kid.
Fortunately, some people in Disney think Pole Position means something completely different, but that's another story.
Yeah. So there we go. It's gonna be really interesting to watch. Yeah, I'm thinking that the Adventure Time sequel, spin-offs, movies, whatever the hell they're doing now, they're working on some more stuff. That'll probably wind up on Hulu or someplace else too.
Or someplace else. Yeah. It sounds like they're if they're making them, they're just making them to do what they used to do, which was put it on Hulu or Netflix. Which is why we said back when they all wanted to do their own streaming service, we said that you're better off to license stuff out. You're going to all compete with each other. It's going to end up making it too expensive for everyone. People are going to, complain about it, and you're all going to highly under each other. And that's exactly what happened.
Yes. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.